Alright. Timestamp December 23rd, 2025. It is right at 6 a.m. Been up for about an hour. Was tootling around on the computer doing some dailies on one of my games. So I basically have a daily game on my computer and a daily game, which is Disney Magic Kingdoms on my phone. Those are my two video game devices right now. Ow. My dog just plowed into my leg. So, got a pressing need over here apparently. Hi. What's on your minds? Oh my god, guys. As you can see, I'm dressed for my OnlyFans channel. Now I'm about to take that shower I've been fantasizing about. I had to stay up. Yeah, I didn't have to, but I stayed up a little bit last night for me because there was an auction ending and I wanted to make sure I was there to fight if need be, because it was something for my girl. And hell of an opportunity, honestly. Okay, so, and I still can't believe that this actually has panned out. I'm hoping they arrive safely and there's no complications. With the mini brand stuff, we've gotten some Subway, the sandwich shop items. Subway sandwiches, a cup, different, Subway meal type components to where there's probably enough for 2 or 3 dolls to eat comfortably. Now my girl's really big in the K-dramas, and she does listen to K-pop and stuff like that. So she casually made the joke the other day. She's like, and I've been teasing her about it too. It's like, oh, Subway, you can do K-dramas with your Monster High guys. And she's like, well, if I were going to do something like that, and she's like, and it's crossed my mind that I'd like to do something like that, I would really need 1 or 2 of the dolls from BTS, which, if you don't know, very big K-pop, huge global, kind of, if you know, you know. I don't follow them. I've seen some of their stuff. They're talented. They seem like cool young guys. But they are the Korean Beatles. So, because of the way I think, very much kind of a, okay. So I casually asked her, I'm like, I don't know the guys, They never return my calls. But they are very fan friendly. True. So, if I were to start tootling around eBay, because I know they did do dolls, and she knew they did do dolls, I'm like, do you have a favorite? Is there one that I should be looking for more than others? And she was like, honestly, no, I'm not that kind of fangirl. I don't. Hey, buddy. Y'all seeing that? Janus is wild. You're okay, pal. You're okay. I have a 3-legged cat, and he is starting to thrive. He loves Scrappy and Hex. Yeah, I just filled the water. Get some water, pal. So far, he's been living under the chairs in the living room. Yes, I will get your cookie. You going back out in the garage? And in the garage. Careful. Janus, you're gonna get trampled, bud. Yeah, when it's cookie time, he has no mercy. Oh my god, you want a cookie too? I can do that. Janus. Jinx is here too. He wants his cookie. This is hungry. There you go. Hey. Yeah. Yeah. Which one is this? It's yellow flavored. Tasty chicken. One per customer, Jinx. Janus has got line for a cookie. Oh my god. That's right. You get cookie too if you want. Yep, when I give cookie to dogs, if you show up, that makes my morning. Alright guys, I want to get creamer. I want to get creamer. I know, Janus. It's good to see you too, man. He's like rubbing all over my legs. Getting there. Just trying to get my creamer fills. Scrappy will detail you. He surely will. Okay, I'm gonna step over. I don't want to step on you at all. Getting the rest of the debris here taken care of would be good. I gotta get this admin stuff done first though. I've been loading up eBay. Scrappy, make a hole. I gotta be able to get through, guys. Oh my god, you guys are complicating this. Scott, he just swatted me in the leg. So you got to be careful about that. You swat the wrong way, you're going to fall on your face. Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to nibble on my toes. My feet are gross. Me stepping around you. I hope. Okay. That was way more complicated than it needed to be. Hi. Didn't hear you. You have grass all over your back. You've been rolling around like a crazy person? Yeah. You know, I named you Janus because of the whole Keeper of the Gate thing, but this is ridiculous. Yep, you gotta let me over here because I can't spontaneously spew cookies out of my rib cage. I'm not that kind of circus performer. Alright. Yeah, one per customer, fellas. That's the thing, Janus. You only get one. You get one. Yeah. And if you try and steal from him, he's going to try and bite your face just like that. Yeah, why don't you come back over here with me? He gets ornery. The Chihuahua is not real tolerant of cats. If you get in this business while he's cookieing, quote Mal, violence will ensue. So, she said, there's not one that I love them all as a band, as a group. I'm not, the fangirl that's like, oh, this guy, oh my God, he's who I think about at night. And she thought about it for a few more minutes, and she's like, we were talking about something else, and then just out of the blue, she was like, if you could only get me one, get me V. And I'm like, V. How do you spell that? She was like, don't be an asshole. I'm like, okay, just V. And the internet will know what I'm talking about. And she's like, yeah, they'll know. I'm like, okay. I don't know how well Al Gore programmed it, so, So I looked it up. V. I guess he's got, like, blonde hair, pink hair. He seems, they all have their, like, cuteness in their own special ways, whatnot. I get it. So I did some research on the dolls, and I'm like, okay, these actually look pretty good. And she had said they looked pretty good. She was like, interested in getting them, but not like, an incredibly cool, Ghoulia Yelps. In which case, she's all in. One of the packages that came yesterday as a sidebar, because I got a couple of Monster High dolls. She stuck around for a while. We got some stuff done and all that. But 2 dolls came in, and I'm not spending huge amounts of money. I'm getting them used, trying to get them complete where I can. She got a Howleen Wolf, which is one of Claudine's younger sisters, and I got her a Mercedes King, which I guess she's the daughter of the Mouse King, or the Rat King, or something like that. She's basically like a mouse humanoid. It was real hard finding her with the ears and the tail. Most of the listings on eBay, she was tailless, but I managed to find one, and she was squealing as she opened it. So I opened the package, saw what it was, and I'm like, "This is yours." No ceremony, no frills, But she looked at it and it was just like, oh my God. When? But, so, V, if you have an option, whatnot, he'd probably be the one. Otherwise, yeah, if you could get me 1 or 2 of the BTS guys, that'd be swell, So, tooling around. A bunch of people had them new in box for 30, 40, 50 bucks. There's some 2 packs out there for 50 and 70 and all that. I found a guy that had a lot of 4 of them loose with some other BTS merchandise, like a cloth banner, pennant kind of thing, and some other little things. So I got those 4, all different, for I think 40 total. And I found another listing, and I did cross-referencing, and I think I'm right on this. And from a probability standpoint, I don't know how I'm right on this. Because it's a 7-person group, I think, or at least, because I kept thinking 5, kept thinking 7. But there are 7 different peoples. I keep wanting to say characters, but they're not characters, they're real people, Mick Jagger is not a character, he's a band member. He is a character from my understanding. And Keith Richards, one of the inspirations for Jack Sparrow, in case you didn't know that. I've never seen Keith Richards run, though, so I don't know if he does that. Anyway, I found another lot for 3 BTS dolls, and this is from a Salvation Army in Chicago because Salvation Army is starting to do listings on eBay, which is good and horrible. If you're local to that Salvation Army, that's got to be frustrating, because sometimes they may be grabbing the good stuff and just putting it online, and you're screwed. You can't go into the actual shop and find it there. I don't know how that works, but I would think if they're listing it, they probably pulled it. So Salvation Army in like Chicago, they had 3 BTS dolls, and I'm sitting here 2 nights ago, like cross-referencing databases, whatnot. I'm like, those are the 3 that I don't have on the way. So, and my brother's the mathematician. I'm not. I'm good with math, but he's an actual got a PhD in mathematics. He's that much of a mathematician. Nerd. So I've got 4, and then that's the auction that I stayed up for last night, was the 3. I got it with no fight, which blew my mind. And with shipping, I think I'm paying $24 for it. So for like 60 or 70 bucks, I got all 7 on the way here, total. Basically $10 each, free shipping, if you want to call it that. Again, I just got up again, so from a probability standpoint, okay, Kaiser's a cranky old man, Janus. You got to learn who people are around here. He'll adjust to you. He is a cranky old man, though. This is like prison, man. Hex is your buddy. Stick with him. He'll keep you safe. And to you, it is not. For nothing is or is not, but thinking makes it so. Anyway. So yeah, somehow, probability-wise, thank you, Lord, I've actually got all 7 on the way. New duplicates, and they all look like they're in pretty good, clean shape, unbroken, and with their outfits, like, intact. And the only one that looks like they have messy hair is V, and I think, from what I can tell, that's like a normal day for V. His hair is always a little ruffled. It's kind of the gist that I'm getting from the pictures that I've seen. I think that's, just like my brother's room growing up always looked like it had been burgled, but it hadn't. It was a normal day. It's just, normal state of being. It always looked like it had been, tossed by someone trained in Quantico. Oh my God, who's been in here? My brother. It's his cave, that's how he works it. But yeah, I've got all 7. Now what I want to do, just because it's funny to me and very, like, unceremoniously casual, I need to get a Subway bag. Like the big, almost shopping bags, like if you bought 10 subs and they put them in those big, deep, almost grocery shopping bag looking things. I need to get one of those, and it would be fun. I wish they had the regular, I could probably get them somewhere. The like actual sub bags, because they just use the like plastic ones. I could just wrap them in like a wax paper or butcher paper. Just roll them up like little sandwiches, 7 of them in the Subway bag. That's what I'm thinking. Just because I think it'd be funny. Leave her a present on the bar. It's just a Subway bag. I don't know. That's the way my brain works, or doesn't work, depending on your viewpoint. So the Zuru mini brands, the giant one, the 261 piece home, I think, mini brands is coming in today, according to the interwebs. So, and Pix is supposed to be coming over today. She's going to be probably not coming over on Christmas. I say Christmas very casually because we're not really doing Christmas. We haven't done, this is not a, oh, pity me, oh. But we haven't done holidays in like 2.5, 3 years, ever since all the shenanigans began with my parents. We're starting to, and we're going to do our own Christmas of sorts beginning of January. But it's on the calendar, therefore we must recognize it as a national, federal holiday thing. We're not so much into that. We typically kind of control our own dates and don't let Captain Hallmark dictate what we're supposed to do. Because who said? I mean, you can make it a bank holiday and all that, and that's fine. I can't change that, stop that, whatnot. You do you, boo. But other than that, as like a mandate, if you want to call it that, who said? You know, I've dated Latin girls before, and it kind of blew my mind to where I was like, that's weird. And they looked at me and said, well, you're weird. But like Latin families typically celebrate Christmas. They don't do the whole wake up Christmas morning, Santa, you know. They do their gift giving Christmas on Christmas Eve. Typically. That's when they do it. Which I'm not sure what Christmas morning becomes at that point. Because, you know, us white folk, you know, Christmas morning is the whole, you wake up, you run downstairs, you know, and you look in the stocking and wait for mom and dad to get up because there's presents under the tree because Santa came. It's a totally different world, you know. They're not doing it the way that the white folk said they need to be doing it, right? Who said? You know what I mean? And I know we've got some people in power right now that would like to dictate how you're going to do everything because it's part of what they think you should be doing and therefore it should be. But I'm a little bit more of a free thinker and nonconformist than that. It's kind of not how I roll. So we'll discuss it. But yeah, we typically, and we've done this before, we typically do our Christmas, we call it Shiny Day, and we usually do it like the first Saturday of January. And we started doing that years ago. It was based on something that happened in an RPG that we were running, but the idea being basically, because sometimes when people are working jobs that are unrelenting, they don't care what the calendar says either. It was easier to do Christmas on a Saturday because more people are going to be able to attend if we're doing like a dinner, because we've had many a dinner in our home for the wayward. And I want to start doing that again. Soul family, found family, all that. We're not ready this second, but we will. But yeah, we usually do it the first Saturday of January. So, I don't even know when that is. Looking at the calendar. So, like the 3rd? Sure. Yeah. Yeah, so she's not coming over Christmas. Debating on Christmas Eve day just because there may be a lot of people out driving stupid, drunk, last minute shopping, and while she and I both enjoy bumper cars, I prefer them in a safe, like, amusement park environment. I grew up going to Ubanga Banga. That was one of my stops every morning on my way to Timbuktu. If you know, you know. Let's go to Timbuktu, check in with the Sultan Arcade. Maybe get an early ride in on the Scorpion. Okay. I went to Busch Gardens like 2 summers in a row every weekday because my mom would drop us off and use it as daycare while she went to her day job. We had passes. True story. Give us each like $5-10. Go. I'll be back at 5. Oh man. We're finishing up a pot of the Harry and David breakfast blend. And I'm using my large base Tweety mug. Well, one of two, now that the other one has gotten here. Yeah. Hearing some weird sound effects from the living room. From Roku Doctor Who standpoint, just for the sake of documentation, I went to bed during... Somebody at Roku Command, loves Seeds of Doom. Love it. It is their favorite Doctor Who episode of all time. It shows at least once a week. And with 24, 25 years, I think 24 years of Doctor Who. And it's a good episode. It's a really good episode. Tom Baker, Sarah Jane, good episode. But you can't convince me that you have so few episodes that it must be shown every week. And I swear it's on the TV at least twice a week. Somebody really loves that episode. Really loves that episode. Like, really loves that episode. So I went to bed with that on. And I woke up to Pirate Planet, which is part of the Romana 1 Key to Time series. And if you listen to the dialogue and some of the content within the storyline, it's one of the ones that Douglas Adams wrote or co-wrote. And boy, you can tell. And that warms the soul a little bit. I'm a huge Douglas Adams fan. But some of the ridiculousness in it that still actually works well within the storyline is like, yeah, that screams Douglas Adams wrote that. Yeah. Yep. Love it. So yeah, woke up to that. Which isn't a bad thing to wake up to. That's fine. We got trash down last night, so no big cardboard, but a lot of small debris went out today, which is good, because small debris, we got it. Trying to one brick our way through this. But yeah, I got to get the investment account stuff squared away today. I got a lot of the utility stuff done yesterday. I was able to, through finagling phone calls and all that, get like utilities for Leonardo patched through the guardianship account. I'm hoping my lawyer doesn't have a problem with it, because she was like, Ms. Alistair was like, you can only write checks from that account. You can't do anything with a card. Okay, well, I'm not doing anything with a card. I'm doing automatic checking. Hopefully she doesn't get back with me after looking at the finances like in a month or 3 and go, what is this? Well, that's the electric bill. You can't do that. What are you doing? But I'm supposed to take care of person and property. I'm taking care of the expenses for the property. And rather than write checks every month, my mom loved it. I hate it. That's why we have this technology, is to streamline that. And it's completely traceable. You know what I mean? If you see, well, looks like you've been billed every month by Duke Electric Company. What exactly is that? If you gotta ask me questions like that, honey, this investigation is gonna take months. You know what I mean? This is how you waste taxpayer money right here. Dumbass questions like that. So, got that streamlined, which the really, really good side to that is, because of what's coming in, what's going out and all that, everything's pretty stable there. Shouldn't get blindsided by anything getting turned off. That's cool. That's cool. That's nice to be in a situation where, because don't kid yourself, I've lived there more than 40 times, where you're like, okay, I can pay the electric, and then if this money comes in by the 10th, I can probably get the water bill out before they shut us off on the 12th. So I think I can keep the water on too. My cell phone might go down for a couple days, and I may not be able to avoid that. I've been there more times than I want to count because it makes me hurt inside. Car insurance is just going to be late, and we're going to get nasty letters, but we'll take care of it. A week from now, they can't cancel us yet. My girl and I have had these talks. It's going to be a late fee. But if we don't do what we're doing, we're going to have no electricity for 2 weeks. We have to do the electric bill now. We've had that talk. Are we going to get hit with a $20 late fee from car insurance? Yup. But if we don't, we're dancing in the dark. Which, I mean, great song, but do you really want it? We've got small children and animals. We'll step on somebody, you know. Still not AI, just to be clear. I know AI can be very convincing, but I'm real. I don't know, that looked pretty good on my screen. Somewhere AI is watching is going, wait, is he one of us? I think he's one of us. No. This amount of psychosis, I'm real, baby. Yeah, this guy. So, yeah, I gotta get the account stuff squared away. And a lot of it's gonna be printing out files, signing it, rescanning it in as a PDF, and then submitting it, which is a tedious pain in the ass, but they have to have an ink signature on some of these forms by law. So that's how I'm going to have to do it. And I had to do that with some of the court stuff a couple weeks ago too. Print out a 60-page document so I can sign on one line so that I can rescan in the 60 pages, because I can't really deconstruct the PDF. I can only recreate a new one, if that made sense. So I sign, on page 3 and on page 47 where I need to, rescan it in, create a new 60-page PDF with real signatures on it, and then resubmit it. Yes, it is as tedious and annoying as it sounds. Yep, yes it was. Yes it was. Yes it was. Because we love bureaucracy. It's awesome. The first letters of bureaucracy are B-U. We're all about individualism here. No, we're not. We are all about conformity. So yeah. I really don't have any brain damage that I'm aware of. You know that, right? Actually, I shouldn't say that. I have had a few concussions in my life, so by definition, I probably do have some brain damage. Because concussion usually takes place when head trauma and the brain kind of impacts the side of the skull and causes some tweakage. But if you've seen my other videos, I'm okay. I'm okay. I feel anxious in a weird good way. And there's also that nagging that I'm going to get that phone call in the back of my head too, which I just can't shake. I can't shake that. I would like to shake that, but I can't shake that. Because I really do feel like something's going to happen with my dad. He's fading. He's fading. Age 10 years and 1 month. See, probably day after Christmas, Pix and I will run around and get together some stuff. We're not doing anything fancy. We're just going to do like I said, a shopping bag with a new fluffy blanket for him. Some other odds and ends that he was asking about. I want to get him some new sketch pads, since he says that his other sketch pads got stolen, which they probably didn't. Another pack of pencils just in case. Just kind of a care bag. Drop that off with my dad, see how he's doing. I'm afraid he's gonna. Part of me doesn't even know if he's gonna, be there to visit with. I don't know. The whole thing's like, I try not to think about it, and then it creeps up at the front of my brain, Oh, I'm going long, but yeah. So much dead air. So I got it. I only grabbed 2 of them because I didn't want to leave you alone for too long. Oh, that is good stuff. So, remember the other day I said that I got the pack of 3 Silurians, like the old school Silurians? And think about this if you watch The War Between the Land and the Sea, because the Silurians today look drastically different. I love the look of them, but in the original, the classic series, like Jon Pertwee, Peter Davison actually had a storyline that wrapped up a storyline that began with Jon Pertwee. They did a great job in a tie-in there. This is what the Silurians looked like back in the 60s to 80s. Look at that face. Look at that face. Look at that. He's so pretty. But yeah, so I got the 3-pack. The 3-pack. Okay, so I didn't get the box set, but I got the figures that would have come within the box set, and I don't think they came with any gadgets. So I think there's kind of a I didn't miss out on anything situation there. I want to say it's the Warriors of the Deep is the box set, and it came with the 3 Silurians, the 3 main Silurians that we deal with in both the Jon Pertwee and the Peter Davison storyline. Like I said, they kind of tied up that storyline. And it's tragic and awful, but it was neat that they did that. He got 20 some odd years. Play with stuff that you didn't necessarily tie in a bow, And I got in that other lot. Both came yesterday, which it had a Scarecrow. It had some stuff to resell, but it had a Scarecrow, 2 Ood, and a Sisterhood of the, is it Haim or Hame? It's Hame. I had mentioned these guys before. They are basically a cat people nurse. They kind of look like they're dressed up almost like nuns. And I kept her out because I wanted to show you guys. I love the look of these. This is another one that I'm trying to get. They come in a black and they come in a white gown. I'm trying to get like 2 of the white and like 5 or 6 of the black. Because I think the white is like... Actually, I'd have to rewatch that. I'm not sure. It was, I don't know if there were any episodes with them with David Tennant, but I know Matt Smith I think there was some David Tennant action because he and Rose, I think. God, it's been a while. But these characters have come up a few times, and I love them. I think they're amazing. But they're essentially cat people who, not Natasha Kinski, that's a very different cat people. Very different cat people. But their whole thing is they are basically nurses and caregivers. So there's a couple of episodes, and I think it is Tennant and Smith that go into it. Maybe just Tennant. I don't know. But it's like an entire hospital ward run by these people. So again, I want to get, in the army building standpoint, I want to get a few because I could create a hospital ward diorama and populate it with staff. Right? And you're beautiful. You are absolutely beautiful. And I know at least one or two guys that would also find them beautiful, but in a different hide your school mascot kind of way. You know? But there's always therapy. I don't know. I don't get it. I will concede that I have seen some anime girls that'll have like a tail or something like that, and I do find that cute and adorable, but it's not kind of a... I don't quite... There might be something wrong with that boy. He been dropped on his head. How hard did you hit him? You know. But yeah, I think these, as a sci-fi creature, and from a makeup effects standpoint, because these look like the ones from the show, just beautiful work. Beautiful work. Really nice. And they recreated character options, does such a good job on this. I mean, we're talking like McFarlane quality, in my opinion. Really nice work. So good. Yeah. So I know I have 5 or 6, and I'm not sure what the ratio as far as black gown, white gown is, but I think I have like 5 or 6 at this point. I kind of want to get it to about 10. I need to figure out which ones are like which ones are the officers, which ones are the grunts kind of thing. Because if I'm getting 10, get like 3 officers, 7 grunts would be a good distribution for diorama purposes. You know, so if white is the officer, get 3 of those and 7 of these. I think you're beautiful. So yeah. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and call it there because I'm going long. I got to get a shower. Laundry day. Nothing clean, right? Alright. One brick, right? Alright. Make it a great day.